We're here today with Chris Eubank Jr. to talk about his forthcoming fight. He's here with his father and manager and promoter, Chris Sr. and the old fella on my right here, Ronnie Davis, his trainer. Chris has got a fight on next week, 25th of October. Chris was due to fight Jez Wilson, who pulled out the fight, and we're now looking for an opponent. That's as of this morning. So we're now looking for another opponent for him. So we'll announce the opponent as soon as we can. Obviously, I'm going to be straight about it, I'm looking for the easiest fight I can find for him. I don't want no upsets. I want him to come through this fight so we can get the big one on. Personally, I prefer that not to happen because anything can happen in the fight, but it's that's where we are. That was what the terms were, to make sure that Chris gets these 2 fights before the end of the year.
I'm a fighter. That's what I do. I fight. So it doesn't matter that I've got, this fight on the 29th. The fact is that I want to be out as much as possible, and whoever they put in front of me, I guess you could call it a warm-up fight, but it's all progress. It's all experience, and it's all going to help me to progress my career. So as many fights as possible. That's what I want.
Chris, how does it upset your preparation not knowing who you're going to fight?
I'm not upset at all. You know, the guys pulled out. That's boxing. I've had people pull out fights my entire career and in the amateurs as well. It's something that I've learned to deal with, and that's why I spar so many different types of opponents, because you never know what's going to happen. So I've been sparring southpaws, I've been sparring tall guys, short guys, fat guys, skinny guys. It doesn't matter. So I'm ready for anyone they put in front of me.
Which obviously is the life of a fighter. He's supposed to be sparring all the time. He's supposed to be sparring all the time, and he's doing just that.
This fight is 2 weeks away, so I've been in the gym. I've been in the gym for the last 2 months. Really, I was over in the States training with Floyd Mayweather Money Team for a month. I got back a few weeks ago, so I've been in the gym non-stop. Really had great sparring out there. And I've had decent sparring out here. I'm in the gym every day, running every day. I'm fit. I'm ready. I'll be ready to fight tomorrow if I had to. So
I'd like to add to that really, if you add it together, he really hasn't had breaks. So he's been training for 9 years for this fight, which Jez Wilson has pulled out. Never mind Billy Joe Saunders. There hasn't been any breaks. I think he's taken a 7-day break, and I should probably give him a bit more.
We're not supposed to mention Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh no, we can.
Oh, we can?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Good.
I spoke to Mr. Smith, Robert Smith, and he said the fight has been sanctioned.
I told you it would be.
You told me, but I had to get it, and we have to keep to the contract, right?
Yeah.
We've got to keep to the contract.
Well, I wrote the contract.
Have you?
No,
4 times. 4 times you've pushed it, but that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
Have you got your fight? Have you got your fight?
We've got the fight.
Did we deliver the fight?
Thank you, Frank.
Good.
The contract is signed. There's no doubt that the fight's going to happen.
I think he said. I think he said I'll give you 20 grand not to fight in Liverpool in case anything goes wrong. That's what he said.
I don't want you questions. The public don't want you making an excuse. You go for finger.
There's no excuse.
Or your ass. We want the fight to make sure it happens. So I'll give you 20 grand not to fight in Liverpool. You're not ill today. And I'll have the money in your account by the end of the day. You're not in your account.
There's no excuses, Bill. The fight's going to happen regardless of what I do on the 29th.
If you take here and I'll practice and you don't talk, if you want to, you don't talk here. You want to do that? Mr. Eubank, do you want any grand in your son's account today if you're not fighting in Liverpool?
No, we
don't you. Listen, some more people are don't give a profit with you feed as much as you can from it, that will give you back.
This is ridiculous. We can't hear him.
Okay.
You're not audible?
I'll tell you what he said.
This is cheap,
he said,
man.
do you want to put 20 grand here, send 20 grand to your account today, so you don't fight in Liverpool, so you're not out of pocket, just in case anything goes wrong. That's what he just said.
I don't need this guy's money. He needs to actually save as much money as he can, because after the 29th, he's not going to have a career. So keep your money, and I'll see you on the 29th.
Right, it's a shame we're getting a problem here with this Skype thing, but the bottom line of all is, young Christopher fights next week, on the 25th, and then this fight's on. As Chris said, now it's okay. He wants to talk about it. That's the fight that all the fans are interested in. It's captured the imagination of all the boxing fans and I think it's going to be one of those crossover fights that gets the general public involved. And it's a great fight. Two really good quality young fighters, both undefeated, and so much to go for in this.
Frank, can I say one thing, please?
You can say what you like.
I know you've got someone getting hurt because when he comes up, he's going to have a bad temper or a bad hand. I don't mean, listen, don't look at the floor. Look at it. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Don't look at the floor. Yeah, I'm not going to put them in your face. Yeah, on the screen. But you don't look at you discuss and stuff, so you can look at him. You can't play in the ring. You know you're going to get big. And I know I'm going to do it. And you know that as well. Just like a fight. I'll have 20 grand in your brain today. Not to fight Liverpool. Fight me.
As I said, we don't need your money. We don't need your money. You're going to get on the 29th after I've dealt with Jez Wilson or whoever they put in front of me, and then I'm going to send you out for a sponsor.
This is not audible, and now it's becoming ridiculous, so I want you to shut this down. Can you shut this down now?
I can't shut down. I'm not going to shut
Can you close the...
Well,
it's inaudible. Who can hear? Who can understand?
I can hear it. I can understand it.
We're not running from you, we're running to you, young man. We're running to you. You and your language has already let the British public down. And we're going to see to it that we correct just that.
I've signed the contract, and even if I had no eyes, I'd still beat you. So don't worry about my injuries.
So can we talk now?
So you can talk. He's talking.
No, but
then
no,
you can talk.
we can't discuss.
What we want to do, Bill, we want to let the press. Have they got any questions to ask?
Well, no,
That's what it is.
we would like to respond.
We'll respond. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, first of all, the £20,000, as kind a gesture as it is, yeah, what we need is the fights, because we're building Christopher to be a world champion of superior standard, and for that he has to have the fights. So it's not about money. Right now it isn't about money. It's about building him to being a fighter that can actually serve Great Britain in the way sportsmen used to. So it's not the money we need the fights. And that's why I've been pressing Frank for, well, since we began to co-promote together, I've been pressing Frank for the fights. We need the fights because Christopher is being built into a super fighter. He's followed the code, he has been relentless, and what you haven't seen from him is rubbish. Okay, he's been built. And you know, what's going to happen on that night at the XL Arena, the best man is going to win. You know, we wish him what he deserves, and so too we wish Christopher what he deserves. They will, each will get what they've worked for.
You're not tempted to take the 20 grand?
Oh, absolutely not. We need to fight. It's not money we need. We need to build him into a fighter that's going to actually represent the United Kingdom around the entire globe. And I should think you would want that. You know, as a media and as a public, you'd want someone built into a fighter that can actually challenge the globe, and that's what we're doing. So it's not the money we need the fight. That's why you must provide that opponent on the 25th.
Yes.
And if you wanna talk about money, I'm getting paid more than that for the fight anyway. So 20 grand it doesn't make sense. I need the fights, and you know, it's a stepping stone fight. It's just gonna get me ready for this guy. So it's you know, there is no excuses. There's no I'm gonna get injured and then pull out. Never. I fought my second professional fight. I fought with one hand for the entire 6 rounds, and that was my second professional fight. So you know, come rain or shine, whether I'm injured or not, the fight's going to happen. It has to.
Right. So tell me this is where we are. It's obviously not. You know, that's not going to happen, Bill. What you're suggesting, I think it's a good suggestion, but it's not going to happen. So Christopher's going to fight on the 25th. We will sort an opponent out. Hopefully he comes through that fight okay. We don't, you know, that's my only concern.
There's no hope about it.
No, I'm just telling you, you know, things happen in fights. If he comes through okay, then the most important thing is that this fight is on the 29th, because the 29th is one of the best cards I think I've seen in Britain for a long, long time. I think that what's happened with Billy Joe and with young Christopher, is that it's known about it in boxing circles. But I think if we can promote this properly, and everybody works together promoting this properly, there's a crossover effect, and that crossover effect will be great for the fighters, because that's when they suddenly become household names, big stars, and that's where we are, and that's what we're working on.
What I'd like to add to that is the fact that, in my view, Mr. Hart.
You can call me Colin, Chris.
Okay, Colin, thank you.
Call him, sir.
Billy has already made the fight bigger than the Tyson Fury Chisora fight. He's done that by the things he has said. And what's going to happen now, he will, as Christopher will, have to prove what we are all looking at. Who is the better fighter?
But let me just say something. Things that have to happen for this fight to promote it, because Bill's on there, and as you quite rightly say, it's a bad line, and it's, sometimes it's a little bit inaudible. We have to have the press conferences with the two guys together, so that the press can get what they want out of it, and we can, as promoters, be able to promote the show. That's what we want. We want the photographs of them together. We want to be able to promote this. There's a lot on the line for us as promoters, and we're working very hard to do it. And it's, Bill's, we've kept him, how long, Bill? For months now over here. He's gone off to his training camp, and you can understand why. But going forward for this, we have to have proper access for the press, for the TV, to turn this into the fight it deserves to be. It doesn't deserve to be pushed over, kept quiet, and all the nonsense that goes on. We need proper press for it, so that the guys can train and be 100% when they get in the ring. But we can sell this fight properly.
That said, something that I said after an interview was that Christopher was going to change the game. Now, a lot of people obviously thought I was talking about boxing. Boxing, indeed, I think he will. But from a contractual point of view, he's already changed the game in that he hasn't actually spoken about this particular fight because it would have been in breach of the contract. That's how he's changing the game.
Going from what I've heard, from what people are telling me, and from the social media responses, this is the one everyone's talking about. Obviously Chisora and Fury is a big fight, but they've already fought. So this is a brand new. This is a new era. This is a new fight. So I think that's what's got people excited. They don't know what I'm going to bring to the table. They hear everything that this guy is saying, and they want to see if they can back it up. So I think it is a bigger fight. It's great. I think it's 30,000 people is going to be at the XL Arena, something like that. That's the number I heard. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but this. I
hope so.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge event. It's going to be great, and to be in a rivalry. This is something that every boxer dreams of, being against somebody that the whole British public wants to see beat, and there's some serious emotions, public emotions going into this fight. So it's going to be serious, and it's one of those things where I'm going to be fighting for the British, the Commonwealth, and the European, and all in one. And it's going to be beautiful to be able to take those 3 belts home. Of course, yeah. Obviously, growing up, I saw his rivalries, and I always dreamed about having my own. But to be honest, those fighters that he fought, the Benns and the Watsons, they're a different caliber to this guy. This guy is not even half of what they were. So really and truly, it's not the same. But the public, they still want to see the fight. So it's going to be explosive.
Bill, one thing I know about Billy Joe Saunders, and I've watched both the guys very closely. One thing I know about Bill is he needs a challenge, mental challenge to fight, and he's done that in a couple of fights where, like for example, that Jared Fletcher, who he fought. He went as the underdog. They all thought Fletcher was going to do a job on him. He absolutely done a job on Fletcher, as we all know. Went on and become quite a decent fighter. And Christopher at the moment, young Christopher's done everything that's been asked of him, but he's not fought at the same level as Bill, and that's what the unknown quantity is about this fight.
I'm the best British middleweight in the country right now. That's
You've
what
done
it is.
everything. I'm not criticising you at all. Best British, Commonwealth and European middleweight will be determined on the 29th. That's when we're going to know, and that's what makes this fight so exciting. That's why it's so intriguing, and that's why me as a fan can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see this fight. If Bill wins, the agreement with the WBO is that he will challenge the winner of Andy Lee and Kobarov for the title. If it was to go the other way, that's up to them to make their decision. But Bill, that's all done and dusted, and and provided, obviously, Bill does what he says he's going to do and what we think he can do. So it's going to be a very interesting time. It's a big carrot for him. It's not just the one fight; it's the world title fight comes afterwards.
The position I'm in now is the perfect timing. As I've said in the past, there's no rushing, there's no deadlines when it comes to my career. Everything is done when we want it to be done, and we want this fight now, and it's happening now. So everything's on track. I don't feel any pressure. Like I said, we do things when we want to do things, and I want to fight him on the 29th. So that's when it's happening. My time is now. It's my time now.
It's all part of the contract. That's to get this fight together, we had to do a lot of things that I would not normally do as a promoter. But Bill wanted the fight, young Chris wanted the fight, and it's a matter of making sure it happened. And I've made sure it happened.
The only reason that the press conference is happening today to talk about the fight between Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank Jr. is the fact that we only got this morning it sanctioned by the Boxing Board of Control. That only happened this morning, so by contract we weren't able to talk about it before. That's why we haven't been to the press conferences. As I said before, we're not running away from him, we are running to him, but we want to do it properly and legally. We're not being forced and we're not being ran into anything. We're doing everything by the book.
Bill was very disappointed the way this has dragged on, and it has dragged on, and some of it's totally unnecessary, irrespective of what Chris is saying.
No, it can't be irrespective of the contract.
Can you let, I'll let you speak, so let me speak.
Sure.
That's what happens when you're co-promoting, you speak, you can take
Sure.
Right, so the fact of the matter is, it was a headache, and it become, at times, what are we doing this for? But we're doing it for the fans, so we've done it to make sure it happened. The British title fight was always going to be on the line because it was a matter of me dealing with Mick Hennessy, but it was pointless me dealing with Mick Hennessy over Blackwell until we knew where we were with Chris. Otherwise, I've had to pay people to ensure this fight's happened, pay step-aside money to people, and it's a bit galling to have to do that. If I'd had a bit more cooperation, it would be much easier. But we are where we are. I was determined to get this over the line. Bill wanted it. Young Christopher wanted it, and at the end of the day, we've got it there. So the fight's on, and all I'm saying now, there is no doubt it's signed the contract. There is no doubt it's for the 3 titles. So we want cooperation to make this a success story for everybody who's involved in it. So everybody gets something out of it, as far as what we're doing as promoters.
What have you geared the XL for?
It'll be set out for 20,000. The problem is,
There's never been 20,000 in there.
No, it's a rectangle-shaped building, and that's the problem. It's not square buildings, but it'll be set up for 20,000. And we've sold 13,000 already.
Team Eubank advised Chris Eubank Jr. to let everything be set in contract form, not handshakes and word of mouth and promises, contracts. So that's the reason why we can today talk about Billy Joe Saunders. We couldn't at 9 o'clock this morning. I spoke to Robert Smith, as I said, I spoke to Robert Smith at about 10:30, and he said, we have this morning sanctioned the fight. So I heard it from the man himself, so now we can go forward. So we haven't been running, we haven't been hiding.
But just so everybody knows, the previous fights were handshakes.
British, Commonwealth and European,
the previous fights we had were handshakes.
We needed them.
The word was good enough then, and everything was delivered as per we were. Anyway, irrespective of that, we've got a fight. It's on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. We've got to just make, and I'm telling you, I am going to find the easiest job. So don't no one crying after the event who are buying tickets. We are And I've never said this as a promoter, I'm looking for an easy job. For Chris, I don't know hiccups. I want this fight on the 29th so that we all get what we're craving to see. A great domestic bust-up. We've got 4 of them on this show. 4 fantastic domestic fights. Anyway, we've got some good, as I say, great fights, great card, and I'm really looking forward now, everybody working together. I'm looking forward to Bill getting his training done, coming back here so we can do something with him and Christopher. And as I say, this is gonna be a great show. Do not miss it. I think it's going to be one of the best nights for a long, long time in British boxing. Go on, mate.
Is there going to be another press conference a week of the fight?
Absolutely. But we saved the fight till the 29th. It's a press conference.
So long as you guys are willing to come down to Brighton for the press conference, that's fine.
He's the champion.
Why
Why have we got to go to
Well,
Brighton?
don't come.
Here we go again.
Well, don't come.
Here we go again. You're supposed to be a joint... Guys, you're looking forward to going to Brighton.
Brighton has a lovely beach, seaside. Come down and enjoy.
That's why you did so well as a promoter. Right. Crazy. I mean, that's what that's. So this is the irritating stuff that you get. The European, sorry, the British and Commonwealth and the Europeans we're going to Brighton because you want it in Brighton. I mean, what respect is that to him as a champion?
We don't need to do a press conference before a week before the fight. In
You
my
do?
view, Christopher Jr. will be training. Okay, but let's see what happens. Who knows? It's possible. Everything's possible.
Well, I've got to tell you something. If there's no press conferences and we're not doing anything, and if you're calling this being the press conference, then I don't know where I'm at with this because that is not good enough for me. It's not good enough for the press. It's not good enough for the public. It's wrong, and you know it's wrong. And it's just another demonstration of you being awkward for no reason. It's crazy stuff. Why would you even think about that?
Think about what? Having him come down to Brighton?
Yeah. Why would you even?
As
Not
I
just
said,
him. What about the press?
Everything is possible.
What about the press?
Everything is possible.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up because I'm going to have to go and get some more anodine. Thanks very much for coming along. Thank you, young Christopher, for coming here today. Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Ron. All the guys. Thanks very much.